Championship leaders Castleford out for revenge today over Warrington, who scored 40 points here last season. And how's this for a contrast? This is where one of today's key men used to play his rugby in Sydney, amid the bustle of one of the world's great cities. Well, now Ronnie Rambo Gibbs is in a very different home in Castleford. His opponents on the field aren't quite so keen on him. His reputation is fearsome, and his headgear means he's instantly recognisable if he's wearing it.
A lot of people wouldn't expect me to wear it all the time, and even I go out down shopping or anything, and people say that's not the same bloke. I can hear him talking, and then they come up and ask me questions and ask me where is it. Expect me to carry it around with me all the time.
How have the people accepted you here?
At Castleford, the people have really taken to me, like on the field and off the field. So it's making it a lot easier for myself and my wife and football in general. Every game I go to, I get plenty of fans from the opposite teams and that coming up and welcome me to England.
For Warrington coach Tony Barrow, injuries have been this season's main problem.
It has been hard for us. I mean, it was only, not last week, the week before, I only had 17 players to pick from a squad of 35. That's all I've got on my professional books. And we only had 17 to pick from. We had to cancel the A team because we only had 2 players. It is hard, it's very physical, but the lads these days are very, very fit. In my day, you know, you used to have about 2 laps and a couple of sprints and then a game of tick and pass. Now you've got to train 5 and 6 days a week, and that's what these lads do, but they now become athletes.
Well, 2 injured backs return for Warrington today. David Lyon at full-back and Mark Forster on the left wing. Mike Gregory's back in the second row after injury, and Les Davidson returns after missing last week's defeat by France because he was in Paris on honeymoon. And Des Drummond's on the right wing. Always an important figure for Warrington, and a little matter of 4 tries today will give him a career total of 200. Some thoughts now from David Watkins.
Well, he's certainly quick off the mark. He's elusive and hard to tackle. Allied to this, he has a good defence, which makes him a most difficult opponent.
And he may need that defence against a Castleford team who've run in 48 tries this season. One change for them, Shane Horrow makes his debut on the left wing because Chris Chapman injured a leg in the Yorkshire Cup final last week. On the other wing, David Plunge, showing the brilliant form that's won him a recall to the Great Britain team for the match against the rest of the world next week.
He has electric pace and is a powerful runner. His eye for an opening enables him to make play for his supports. He's always in the action, never satisfied to just wait on the wing for the ball to appear.
Thank you, David. Well, there is Shane Horrow, the New Zealand Test star. How he'd love to score on his debut. He's raring to go. We're all set. Here's John Help.
There's a real mood of determination here at Weldon Road. Castleford keen to get back on a winning path after last weekend's Yorkshire Cup final defeat. And Warrington, who've not had the best of starts to the season, eager to put one over their old rivals. And referee Jerry Kershaw, who actually refereed this match last year when Warrington won by 40 points to 30, and he's got a birthday tomorrow. He'll be 45. But I think, David, both sides will feel they've something to prove in this one.
Well, that's right. Warrington are languishing mid-table, haven't had all that success. Whereas, of course, to lose the Yorkshire Cup final one weekend and come back into the lead the next, one wonders whether Cass can retain their poise.
Blake's kick struck a Castleford man and went straight out. There'll be a scrum over in front of the dugouts. Referee Kershaw, who's a schoolmaster, seems to have plenty to say at the moment. And there'll be an offence here, and the penalty is awarded to Castleford. Martin Kettridge hoofs it and finds a very good touch indeed, no more than a couple of feet from the Warrington try line. And Castleford unbeaten at home this season. They've won all their 5 matches, 224 points scored. It's an incredible average. Let's see if they can add to it here as Beardmore found his brother John Joyner is pegged back by Billy McGinty. And Castleford trying to set themselves up, have a very good chance here, and Boothroyd took the pass at the second attempt. Kevin Ward, he's been a regular try scorer against Warrington over the years. There was no way through for him that time. Warrington would have been disappointed had there been. Oh, but that's a straightforward try. What a start to the game for Grant Anderson. And Warrington's defence was really prized wide open there. John Joyner involved, and Grant Anderson giving us the perfect start to the match.
Well, Cass started like they hope to keep going with, and this is a great boost to them. But this gap has opened up in a Warrington defence that Tony Barrow will be rather surprised about.
I think he'd be very disappointed about it too, and Anderson's 7th try of the season, and one of the easiest for him.
Well, they've started as they would like to have started. Straight away, the ball is moved out wide. And of course Anderson takes it and breaks open the easy defence, and Tony Barrow will have a lot to say about that.
And there should be 2 more points to be tacked on here by Martin Ketteridge, who doesn't let anybody down. 6 new it is, and the perfect psychological start, just what Darrell van der Velde will have wanted. Nicely worked, and Ronnie Duane was steaming onto the pass. Davidson. Roach. This time it's against Steve Roach, the big Australian prop forward. I guess the feeling that referee Kershaw has got wind that this could be quite a stern contest and wants to stamp on it straight away.
I think Warrington have come over here obviously looking for points, and they're going to make it very difficult for Castleford. The unfortunate part about it at the moment is both sides have players who are more concerned about individuals than about the game.
And Roach went in on Bob Beardmore there. The crowd beneath me over this side of the pitch didn't approve. And the referee is going to have to be eagle-eyed. And that pass spilled by Anderson. So his opposite number 6, John Woods, was there. And Roach has seen plenty of the ball. This big number 8 from Australia here is known as Blocker. And this man, Davidson, is known as Biff. And what a break he's made. He's got the support. And there should be a try if they get this one right. Blake was stopped. Now Woods. They're still always queuing up. And if they've got that ball out, Mark Forster on the left wing would have cantered over. As it is, a penalty's been given to Warrington. And the tackle. And he's going to kick at goal. Well, John Woods last year had a momentous game against Castleford. He got a hat-trick here of tries and he kicked 6 goals. He's got the most phenomenal points record. So this should be certainly within his capacity. It is. Warrington have their first points of the game. And John Woods adds 2 points to his amazing record. It's 6-2 to Castleford. But John Woods, the most astonishing point scorer in the game. 3,267 points in his career. And he's only 5 tries short of 200. Woods was also the first man ever this season to reach 2,000 points in the First Division. Davidson. And now there's a running chance. But Marchant was there smartly to stop Tony Fornelli. Tamati. The crowd felt that Tamati's boot then went straight into Ronnie Gibbs' face. And the touch judge is on, and I've no doubt that that's what the touch judge is going to tell referee Kershaw. Well, Rambo Ronnie has seen it all before. He felt that one though. And he's gone down looking groggy. But Tamati certainly stamped on him there in the tackle. They play the ball. So yet another penalty goes to the statistics. And now it's Davidson who's roughing up Plange. And referee Kershaw is going to have to do something about this.
Well, incidentally, that's the second time Davidson has been spoken to. It'll be interesting to see what Jerry Kershaw has to say. Or more importantly, what he might be doing.
And he's giving him the card. And he's away into the sin bin for 10 minutes. Well, for Les Davidson, who's come back from his honeymoon, this is certainly no honeymoon for anybody. Stupid penalty to give away, no doubt about that. And it's given Kettridge his third kicking opportunity. He's accepted 1 out of 2 so far. And now it's 1 out of 3. So it's an escape for Warrington, really. They could have been a lot further behind.
That's right, because they had that 2 points to John Woods' penalty, and that sort of stabilised the Warrington side. For that to have gone over then would have left them in a bit of trouble.
Roach really felt the weight of the Castleford pack, almost all of them in there. Now Blake's turn to kick. A very good angle kick as well. So it's got Horrow chasing back, and Belcher's with him. Well, Belcher took an advantage of a slip by Des Drummond to make some ground down the left touchline, and that was quick thinking by the Australian fullback.
Very quick, and he moved and made some 25 yards then, while Des was still getting up off the floor.
And Boothroyd's done well here to find Belcher again. He stayed up in that position. So Castleford at least are willing to throw this ball around, and Kettridge ran into a brick wall then. A brick wall named Tamati. Ward tries to burst the tackle, finds Anderson at his shoulder, and Giles Boothroyd. Well, the try is given. He scrambled over. And again, questions must be asked in the Warrington defence.
Well, Warrington's defence are coping very well, despite the fact they are 1 forward down. But when Ward goes on the rampage, he knows they've got to score and take advantage fully of it. Slips up the ball well, and the backing up and support is superb by Castleford. And this has been a hallmark of their play. And although he's pulled down just short, the momentum allows him to carry over.
And Kettridge adds on his second goal. And so 12 points to 2 it is. And noticeable how Warrington missed Davidson there.
That's right, when they won short, it's always difficult to plug up the gaps, and Cass took advantage of that. Of course, Warrington's defence been under great pressure, and knowing that they are 1 man down, Castleford know they've got to score, and this opening is prized open, and good support play enables Castleford to get the try they were looking for.
But chances here for Castleford, surely. Tony Marchant absolutely taken out by the collar there by Fornelly. Kevin Ward barging his way there. Over on the far side, Davidson is preparing to come back on. There he is at the back of your picture. Can Cass get a try before he comes on? Well, Warrington have the possession. And Davidson's back on. Here is Davidson, so he's had a breather. So Warrington will want him to do something more constructive now. Beardmore, nice little reverse ball for Kettridge, which has got him tearing into the gap. Tackled by Gregory and Dwayne together. Useful kick from Bob Beardmore again, but a bit more space this time for David Lyon. Forster's come inside for a bit of the action. He's not seen much of the ball on the wing, that's for sure. That's better. Davidson opened up a gap there, which McGinty went into. Blake. Good long pass for John Wood. Oh, good. Typical John Wood. And he sets off for that line. He's got a man inside him. Eventually gave the ball in. Foster takes it on the leap. Marchant's got him. That was really John Woods at his best. Fleet of foot, saw the gap. And Blake now along the line. Not a good ball from him though. It's picked up by Gregory. And they really do need something. Roach keeps it going thornily. Well, everybody slipped there. Last tackle now. And how Warrington need a score, and Blake will put a little grubber kick in. Well, England did well to get that ball away, and Bob Beardmore runs into Davidson. And referee Kershaw thought of another word to Davidson then, and then didn't bother. Oh, and the intercept should be an interception now. It must be. It's Gregory eventually who picked it up. As Gibbs trying to do the right thing and get the ball away, and Drummond puts that left shoulder of his down and ran straight into Boothroyd. Woods again, and again he's trying to get through that gap. But this time they've nailed him. John Joyner did. And Woods, because he lashed out with his hand, is told off by the referee. And you sense that whenever Davidson has the ball, Castleford are going to be gunning for him. Fine tackle by Kevin Beardmore. Tamati. Oh, that's a real fumble that you don't expect from someone of the quality of Woods, and he's very annoyed with himself.
Well, it's a pity really, because they are far more purpose to their play now. There's a better pattern emerging, and they are trying to push the ball up the middle with the supports on the outside.
Oh, and England turned inside that tackle, as a result of which Belcher is steaming through. A good surging run from the full-back. And the Castleford momentum is bringing them forward in droves now. Vital for Warrington that they hold out until half-time, or at least get another try themselves. Anderson is blocked. Let's see what happens back there as Drummond falls on it. Touch judge is on. And I think Davidson might get another ticking off here. He's going to be lucky to stay on this afternoon.
Well, he seems hell-bent on going off the field rather than staying on it. He's involved in just about everything that's happening.
The scoreboard in the background tells you that Castleford are leading 12-2, and they're running the ball here, and there's going to be another penalty for offside right in front of the sticks. And I'll be amazed if Kettridge doesn't attempt to kick this one. He will do. Well, Warrington have only themselves to blame for this situation, as Kettridge pops another one through the middle, and Castleford lead 14-2. Roach, sensible play from the prop forward, and here are Warrington with a golden opportunity. Woods' pass there looked as though it might be forward. Blake almost seemed to take his eyes off it as though he expected the whistle to come. They've spurned the chance again.
They can ill afford to lose those chances because they have a bit of an uphill battle. The Castleford side is really bubbling, moving the ball about quite a lot and totally making the defence very suspect.
But there are warning signals there for Castleford. They've been opened up two or three times now. However, Belcher. Oh, Marchant drops it, and there must surely be a try for Thorniley. He's only got to fall on the ball. A disastrous mistake by Tony Marchant, and Thorniley has taken full toll of it. And a minute before half-time, that's come at a crucial stage.
Well, Warrington has spurned one or two chances, and it's left now to Castleford when they're trying to break out the defence. Tony Marchant put the ball to ground, making it a simple task for a tap ahead for Thornley to score.
And it's hardly a true reflection of the first half. If John Woods puts this one through, which he's not been able to do, Warrington would have been much closer, but as it is, they're still very much in the game at 14-6. Drummond saw an opening there as the hooter signals the end of that first half, and once we got over the niggly early stages, there's been some good football, but Castleford perhaps should have had more points on the board.
Well, they really should have. They moved the ball about, they played an expansive game, they slow down, they forgot their defeat last week in the cup final, but Warrington side totally off balance for the first few minutes, had that try against them and really fought hard and are quite happy to be in, I would think, at half-time, only 6-14 down.
Both coaches have a lot of talking to do then in the dressing rooms. Castleford have scored 2 tries to Warrington's 1. Gives us a half-time scoreline of Castleford 14, Warrington 6. Join us again after the break. Hello again from Weldon Road. It's Warrington who take the field first for the start of the second half, and I think it's going to be very interesting to hear what the Warrington coach Tony Barrow has got to say about the events so far. We can find out what he does think now with Nick Powell.
Tony, did you feel you deserved the little bit of luck that you got before half-time?
I don't think that was a bit of luck before half-time. I think we've had a lot of bad luck with some bad refereeing. But I mean, when we went down there and we got done there on when we got the 2 points for us holding down, they keep holding us down. And the thing is, if they'd have let us up, we'd have scored straight away.
But you're making some of your own mistakes as well, aren't you?
Well, we're making a few mistakes ourselves, and I mean, we suffered with the loss of Davison for that 10 minutes. But the thing is, if we can get this ball wide, I think we're going to have some problems this half.
Let's see, Tony, thanks very much. We're back in the action with John.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Getting the ball wide and the players keeping their discipline. They can ill afford anybody to go off for another 10 minutes. 8 points is the deficit at the start of the half. And both sides at the moment are relying on the teams that began the game. The scrums in the first half went Castleford's way, 3-1. And Kevin Beardmore won 2 against the head. But Warrington did concede those 9 penalties against Castleford's 6. There's Drummond. Trying to thread his way through. And the first penalty of the half will go to Warrington. Errors in play. Castleford made 7 in the first half to Warrington's 4. That's a rather surprising statistic. Tamati Blake involved twice and flings out the long ball, which Ronnie Dwayne did well to take head high. Now Davidson, let's see what he can do in an attacking sense. So he did well to find Thorniley. And Tony Marchant will feel better for having made the tackle which brought Thorniley back there. And Warrington is still moving it with Blake. And he's a real live wire. He's got 10 tries this season. He's now got 11. Just the start Warrington wanted to the second half. And their Australian halfback has been so prolific this season. He's got another one to add to the tally.
Well, Warrington now know they've got to get back into the game. A try is important to them here, and the ball is moved out. Blake takes on John Joyner, dances underneath him, stands the full back for dead, and scores a try, which means that Warrington are back in the game. The ball now coming out, and let us show the power, and Warrington know they've got to go forward. Roach makes the inroads, Blake takes the ball off him, ducks under 2 tackles, leaves the full back for dead, and crosses for an excellent try.
John Woods has added on 2 points to go with Blake's try. So it's 14-12. What a game we've got now. Another penalty given, but at least Warrington's coach must be a little happier than he was at the start of the half.
Tony, that the kind of start you wanted?
Well, that's just what I needed. One good try before half-time and one after. That's what just up our street now. We can start to get a roll on now. We'll be OK.
Tony, thanks very much. John?
It's certainly the start they wanted. It's easy to see why these two have been among the most consistent First Division clubs over the years. They're two of only 5 to have retained First Division status ever since 1973, and now there's going to be another penalty, another 2 penalties against Warrington, and they're starting now to use their mouths a little bit, and that's always a bad sign.
Well, that's why it's important where captain should come into play, and the captain should really have the authority to tell the players, accept the decision and walk away from it, because otherwise it's aggravation. And as you've just seen now, Castleford have got a further 10 yards, which means that the ground kick is kickable, and that's not very good sign for Warrington.
It's a good chance for Martin Kettridge to hoist his 4th goal. And to take Castleford back into a 4-point lead. And it's exactly what he's done. And again, it's indiscipline that's cost Warrington those 2 points. So as John Woods kicks off, let's find out what Darryl van der Velde thinks about it all down there.
Darryl, it's getting very tight now.
Yeah, we've made some mistakes in the first 5 minutes of the half, you know, and probably the last 5 minutes of the first half we let them in too. So, you know, 2 disappointing tries, but, you know, we'll hang in. We're just going to control the football, get the ball down the middle of the field and score the tries as they come.
Thanks very much.
And that was the voice of Nick Morgan booming out there as well. Blake putting boot to ball, a very effective kick as well. That's a superb tactical kick from the Australian scrum half.
Well, he's had a superb game at scrum half. He scored that quite brilliant try, and that was a marvellous kick then, gaining him relief and at the same time putting him firmly in Castleford's half.
There's Phil Blake here in his 2nd spell with Warrington. 11 tries now this season, so he's made an impact. Castleford's put in. Out comes the ball for Cass. They've earned the nickname Classic Cass over the years, but they equally can be infuriating to their supporters. Again, Ward wants that ball. He's really enjoyed himself this afternoon. Tony Marchant has picked it up. It's very slippery underfoot, and whenever players try to change direction, they come to grief. But England, the ball away for Boothroyd, who looks to be hurt in that tackle, and I don't think he's going to be able to play the ball. got a stud in the nose. Play can continue now, and Giles Boothroyd has had the treatment he required. Penalty is for Castleford. Davison picked the ball up in an offside position. It's exactly halfway through the second half. The call was for 2 points, and the answer is given by Martin Kettridge. Well, he's a prolific goal kicker, and it's 18-12. Castleford are stretched into a good advantage. And Martin Kettridge, 2 tries and now 38 goals to go with it this season. He's a big lad, 6 feet, 14 stone 10, and he knows where to put boot to ball. Ball could actually go dead. It's an awkward one for David Plange, but he'll certainly run it out beyond his own line, and here he goes in full flight, David Plange. Fine tackle by Blake, the man who put in the kick. And now Boothroyd wants to go on the outside of his man, who is McGinty. 2 tackles gone and 4 to come. Oh, and Boothroyd ducked underneath a couple of challenges. And Kevin Ward, and that time he took his eye off the ball at the critical moment.
Well, that was unfortunate because he's nearly had a perfect day this afternoon. He's made 1 or 2 tell-in runs. Every run he's made has taken 2 or 3 to pull him down, and he, more than most, has worked very, very hard.
Roach for Warrington. Support was coming in from Thorniley. Well, it's still anybody's game. It really is at 18-12. Warrington, as you said, are just beginning to piece their game together a bit better. Good tackle by Kevin Beardmore then on Mike Gregory. So the last tackle, and again Blake will think of the kick. Tries for touch this time and finds a good one as well. Blake has probably been Warrington's outstanding performer.
He certainly has. He's been the little general behind their scrum, and he's been at the helm of most things, pushing little kicks forward, making telling breaks, and scoring that super try.
So down by the right-hand touchline, Bobby Beardmore puts in to the scrum. It's a crucial one for Castleford to win this, or he never even put it in. They were all biting the turf without the ball. 10 minutes to go, and in fact a penalty has been given to Castleford, so that's relief for them. 1 or 2 just beginning to look a little battle weary. Kettridge's goals could make the difference at the end of the day. What a tackle that was on Gibbs by Davidson. And he's still there, though. Joyner. Now then, Belcher. Lovely ball from Belcher to Horrow, who did well to keep his footing. About 8 or 9 minutes to go, depending on any injury time that might be added on. Joyner, delayed the pass and then sprints for the corner himself, John Joyner, but he's got Plange over, yes! So spectacular. And it was beautifully set up by John Joyner and delightfully finished off by the man who likes to do things in style.
Well, the game has needed something with inspiration, and John Joyner certainly showed that. He took the pass, dummied twice, kept the defence standing still, then went for the corner, but at all times he was aware of who was with him, and plunges there, headlong into the corner for a marvellous try.
Well, he did well to keep his feet.
Well, they needed something straight away, and John Joyner knew at this moment in time. He made the half break, goes through it full on the burst. The defence coming across, and Pange is there to finish it off.
He is a real idol of the Castleford fans. And Martin Kettridge could be about to kick his 6th goal and take the game out of Warrington's reach. We shall see from this angle. Difficult kick. And he's not got it this time. But even so, Castleford must be breathing a lot easier now at 22-12. What does Darrell van der Velde think now?
Well, that wasn't bad. The young man and the old man, Darrell.
Yeah, very, very good. Very good time to come up with a try too. John's been out of the game for a little bit. I was a bit concerned, but beautiful work to cut the players out there, and Plan just finished it off with his good work.
Think you've got it now?
The game goes for 80 minutes, so we'll come back in about 7 minutes time, and I'll tell you.
We'll come back, and that's back to John now.
Wise words indeed. The match is never over until that final whistle. Well, Belcher here has run very well. Certainly had a more impressive game today than he did in the Yorkshire Cup final.
He did, yes. He's fielded the ball with confidence. He's always been prepared to join in the line, and he's made some telling breaks.
Good catch once more from Lyon, the young man they signed from Widnes on tribunal. Well, Warrington really have to do something special now, and Des Drummond is just the man to do it. He really sets off now after that pass, and can he get past Belcher? Well, Belcher half got him first time and then completed the job. That was a real chance then. Oh, and Blake flings out a really long pass, and coming up into the line. Oh, that's a disastrous slip for Warrington. And Kevin Tamati hanging his head.
Well, I know, but it is always difficult. Players are always looking to miss out men instead of passing to the obvious one next to them. And that was a classic example, although at the same time every player must be aware that the ball could be there at any time. Well, Warrington, deep in their own half, know that they've got to move the ball out wide, right across the Castleford defence. Drawing man after man, and Drummond takes the ball on the outside, and now he knows he's now 70-80 yards to run. He slows down into the tackle by Belcher to go around him, but Belcher half knocks him over, and that's enough to stop the try.
Here come Warrington once more with Roach. The Balmain forward. Healing it, and chances once more, and Warrington have brought on their own sub, Mark Roberts. Here he is at number 15. And that's a last desperate ploy, maybe. Well, Roberts has got a good try-scoring record in the game. And how Warrington would need one from anybody now, and Davidson's there! Davidson plunges over the line in between the 3 Castleford men, and full credit to the Australian Les Davidson there. He's had his bad moments in this match. This is a good one.
Well, Cash, yes, Davidson goes through again. He has figured in most things, and that's a try that they'll be most welcome, and there's still chance as far as he's concerned.
It's his second try for Warrington, and well, John Woods doesn't take long to attempt to kick his goals, and that one just skims the outside of the post. John Woods himself can't believe it. He thought it had gone through. Well, he smiles now, but they were absolutely right. It flicked the outside, I would have said.
Well, Davidson picks it up on the play of the ball, forces himself over. A bit of slack defensive work on behalf of Castleford, and that means Warrington are still in with a chance.
So, can Castleford snatch a late and convincing and clinching try? Horrow here, faced by Drummond, and he's got round Drummond. Shane Horrow. Well, he was very, very close there to celebrating his debut for the club. Sampson, Bob Beardmore. Oh, came the other way, Bob Beardmore. Good thinking, support now from Dean Sampson. We've got to try the last home game here. Again, the Beardmore's involved, and Kevin Ward, well, he deserves a try, actually, and I think he might just get one. Is he there? The referee says no, he was right on the line, Kevin Ward. Well, that ball's continued to go back, so they're still all right, and it's Kevin Beardmore, 5 yards out. Well, they're almost queuing up now. Desperate times for Warrington to defend, and the attempt at the drop goal is from Grant Anderson. Oh, he's popped it over. Well, it wriggled over the crossbar, did that. Blake has got one try already. Has to release it, really. And now John Woods, Gregory, and Gregory's there for the line. Up, and the ball went straight into a pair of Castleford hands, those of Gary Belcher, and that surely was Warrington's last hope. And there is the hooter. The small boys are on the pitch. Castleford have won, and their coach, Darryl van der Velde, must be delighted that his side has preserved their unbeaten record in the league.
We said we'd come back, Darryl, and you have won it.
Yeah, we've done it tough, but I tell you what, I think they played well. Blake's a little bit tired towards the end, but the points are on the board, that's the main thing.
Well, the match went very much Castleford's way in the end, although there was only a 7-point margin. But that late try from David Plange was the difference, although Davidson came back with one for Warrington. But 5 goals for Martin Kettridge, and finally a drop goal from Grant Anderson have given Castleford that victory, which has taken David Watkins into their dressing room.
An uncompromising battle here this afternoon, but back on winning ways of Castleford after their disappointment last week. And my man of the match, Stone's Bitter Man of the Match award this afternoon goes to Kevin Ward. Well done, Kevin. Disappointed last week, but no doubt delighted with the way in which you performed this afternoon.
Yeah, mate, not only myself, but the team as well. You know, we stuck to us guns like... we got lost a bit, probably in the second half and back into the first half, but as defence kept us going like, and just grabbed the try when we needed one, and got the points in the end.
Well done, Kevin, and well done, Castleford.
Cheers, David. Thanks a lot.
Now for the details of the game. Well, Castleford's Kevin Beardmore in his testimonial season showed his value to the team by taking the scrums 7-1. To complete a thoroughly good day, he also healed 3 times against the head. There were flurries of penalties given away by both teams. In the final analysis, Warrington conceded 16 against Castleford's 12 indiscretions. And talking of indiscretions, both sides committed 13 errors, too many for the liking of their coaches, no doubt. Let's have the rest of the day's news now from Nick.
And the main story comes from across the Pennines. Wigan's Silver Hall continues. Kevin Ira's 14 points see off Salford in the Lancashire Cup final. Andrew Ettingshausen's first try for Leeds brings another victory at Headingley. The full results check. The Lancashire Cup final, Salford 17, Wigan 22. The Stones Bitter Championship, Castleford 23, Warrington 16. Leeds 21, Hulkingston Rovers 8. Oldham 22, St Helens 26. Wakefield 14, Widnes 28. Division 2. Barrow 26, Rochdale 8. Carlisle 30, Runcorn 10. Chorley 9, Bramley 25. Dewsbury 6, York 45. Fulham 61, Huddersfield 22. Lee 56, Whitehaven 6. Mansfield 10, Doncaster 32. Sheffield 10, Batley 17. Swinton 43, Keighley 14. And the tour match, Halifax 24, France 18. At the top of the championship, Castleford's lead is up to 2 points. St Helens, Widnes and Leeds have all overtaken Salford by winning today, but Wigan, on today's form, are well poised to make progress themselves. There's the second division. Lee and Doncaster still have the league's only 100% records, and Barry Ledger hat-trick today helped Lee to the top on points difference. Barrow up to 3rd, and Swinton up to 6th by beating Keighley. Now, even a week after the Yorkshire Cup final, many of you are still talking about it. Leeds and Castleford served up one of the matches of the decade.
Bobby Beardmore along the line. Oh, and an interception by Gary Schofield. Chapman's going across to try and nail him. Schofield's got 40, 50, 55, 60 yards, and Schofield is in for the first try. Ettingshausen's kick over the top, caught by Gibbs, who sets off and then gives it, and Joyner finds Beardmore. Beardmore to Marchant. Oh, this is enterprising from Castleford. This is what they call a classy Cass. And David Plange roaring into the tackle. There must be a try for Castleford on the left, surely. It's Boothroyd, is he there? Yes, he is. Castleford hit back. They must spin it right. Beardmore, Joyner, along the line, the interception is by Carl Gibson. He's got the whole field to go in. Tony Marchant will chase him. He won't get to him though. And Carl Gibson sends the Leeds fans into ecstasy. He dives through the posts, signals the success. And Schofield there showed his unselfishness. He could have gone. Cliff Lyons pierces holes in the defence, and Paul Medley goes rampaging for the corner and makes it. Well, Lee Crooks, who moved from Hull for a then world record fee to Leeds, is presented with the trophy by Mr. Martin Loads, the free sales director of John Smith's Brewery. And the Leeds fans acclaim their team.
Well, a game you could enjoy again and again. And you can by taking up our special Scrum Down offer. We have a cassette of the full 80 minutes, Scrum Down's usual introduction and post-match analysis. If you'd like one, send us a cheque or postal order for £9.99, payable to Yorkshire Television Enterprises, to this address. Scrum Down offer, Yorkshire Television, TV Centre, Leeds, LS3 1JS. And let us know if you'd like a VHS or a Betamax, and please allow 28 days for delivery with your time for Christmas. I'll give you that address again. Scrum Down offer, Yorkshire Television, TV Centre, Leeds, LS3 1JS. Well, we should see some cracking action on Scrum Down next week too. York and Lee today scored 101 points between them. But we leave you with the moment that the old man and the young man combined to keep Castleford on top of the league. From all of us, Weldon Road, very good night to you.